This is me when I used to work on Wall Street at JP Morgan, and I am convinced that $1 million Bitcoin isn't a matter of if, but a matter of when. In this video, I'll break down the 5 big forces pushing Bitcoin higher, and the last one might completely change how you think about money. Each one of these on its own would be bullish, but together, they create the kind of perfect storm that could realistically push Bitcoin to $1 million per coin. So let's jump into the first one. In January 2024, something historic happened. After years of waiting, the Bitcoin spot ETFs were finally approved in the United States. This is a turning point for Bitcoin, maybe the turning point for Bitcoin. Until now, buying Bitcoin wasn't exactly easy for the average investor. You had to figure out how to use an exchange, worry about cold storage, and memorize seed phrases, and live in constant fear that what if my exchange goes down? Well, the ETFs changed the game. You can now easily buy Bitcoin exposure with the same ease as buying an S&P 500 index fund. No hardware wallet, no seed phrases, no friction. Now, here's the kicker. We're not talking about the small players here. BlackRock, Fidelity, Vanguard, the giants of global finance as we know it are all directly involved. In just a matter of months, we've already seen billions of dollars flow into these ETFs. And that's not just retail hype. That's institutional capital, pensions, and 401k money entering the market in a way that simply wasn't possible before. And we'll talk about more about retirement accounts in just a second, but this is the bridge that Bitcoin has always needed, access to trillions of dollars in traditional wealth. And here's the punchline. Every new dollar flowing into these ETFs is putting pressure on Bitcoin's fixed supply. Now, this isn't just some short-term story. It's the kind of demand shock that plays out over years. And right now, we're only seeing the very beginning. So the question isn't whether the ETFs matter. The real question is, are you positioned for what comes next? Now, before we get into the other reasons, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button on this channel to get more content like this. Now, the second reason is something that most people are completely overlooking. Bitcoin inside of retirement accounts. Americans have over $7 trillion locked up in 401ks. And up until recently, Bitcoin wasn't even an option in that system. But that's now changing. Fidelity is one of the biggest retirement providers. They have already rolled out Bitcoin allocation in 401ks. And that means that Bitcoin isn't just for crypto bros with backwards hats and shitty mustaches anymore. Wait a second. Okay, let's get back on track. It's for teachers, firefighters, nurses, and millions of everyday people who can now automatically put Bitcoin in with every paycheck. And here's the kicker. Even a tiny percentage of money creates constant, predictable demand. It's not just speculation anymore. It's steady inflows. Now, if you want a retirement account where you can hold real Bitcoin, Unchained is the place to go. Unchained's Bitcoin IRA is the only IRA that allows you to hold real Bitcoin with your own keys. Enjoy a tax-advantaged savings and in-vault trading breeze through the 401k rollovers in just one click, and lock it in a seamless inheritance protocol with no third-party risk and no single points of failure. You hold your own keys. So go to unchained.com/greencandle and use the promo code GreenCandle10 and you can get 10% off any account at Unchained. For the third reason, corporate treasuries are waking up. It started with MicroStrategy. Michael Saylor bet his company's balance sheet on Bitcoin, and today they hold over 600,000 Bitcoin. Tesla even jumped in, and more companies are considering the same move. The hedge against inflation, the superior store value versus cash, the competitive pressure. Don't let the balance sheet rot. We're watching this domino effect happen every single day. Every company that buys Bitcoin puts pressure on competitors to ask, are we falling behind? And that's how corporate adoption snowballs. I mean, look at this. There's over 160 publicly traded companies now with Bitcoin on the balance sheet, and that number is rapidly climbing. All of these companies combined have nearly 1 million Bitcoin on the balance sheet, and they will easily by the end of 2025. Now, that's a lot of Bitcoin. Here's where it gets interesting. Bitcoin is being recognized as pristine collateral. Real estate is slow. Stocks have settlement risk. Treasuries are government backed, but Bitcoin, it's the most liquid asset on the planet. It's global and verifiable instantly on chain. You can't fake it. For decades, US treasuries were pristine collateral of the world, but Bitcoin might actually be better. Not just might, it is. And once it's been accepted as collateral, the game changes. Because now you don't need to sell your Bitcoin. You can borrow against it. That makes it useful for institutions. And it's not just an investment, but as part of the financial plumbing of global markets. Once Bitcoin enters the collateral system, demand doesn't just rise, it explodes. Now, it's not just for the wealthy who have access to it. This is for everyone. You can unlock your wealth within minutes with companies like Salt Lending. Salt is also giving an exclusive deal to listeners of this channel. So if you go to saltlending.com/green candle or the link down below, and you can unlock your wealth with a leader in the Bitcoin lending industry. Now, let's get into Wall Street, the biggest shift of all. It's embracing Bitcoin. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Fidelity, BlackRock, all the names your financial advisor already trusts are now rolling out the Bitcoin services. Soon, buying Bitcoin will be as simple as clicking a button in your brokerage accounts. And that changes the psychology completely. Bitcoin goes from being risky internet money to just another line item in a diversified portfolio. All the drivers we've been talking about, ETFs, 401ks, treasuries, collateral, they all build towards this. Full Wall Street adoption. And once that happens, the floodgates are open. So let's recap the 5 unstoppable drivers of Bitcoin adoption: ETFs, retirement accounts, corporate treasuries, pristine collateral, and Wall Street adoption. Each one of these on its own is absolutely massive, but together they create the perfect storm. Demand colliding with Bitcoin's fixed supply. That is why I believe $1 million Bitcoin isn't just a fantasy, it's inevitable. The only real question is, will you be positioned for it? If you found this breakdown valuable, smash the like button and the subscribe button, because in future videos, I'll dive into even deeper on how this plays out and how you can stay ahead of it.